HolyWireMod here. This is going to be tutorial 16b in the Expression 2 series, where we're going to be taking a look at performance, specifically with conditional loops, such as the while loop. So let's get some output x, and we're going to intentionally exceed the tick quota by setting x when x is less than 10,000. So the condition itself should cause the Expression 2 to crash, and it does. Now, I want to actually make a point real quick before proceeding that these while loops and for loops and all these other loops typically cause tick quota to be exceeded when you're dealing with 1,000+ lines of code. So do consider using alternatives before resorting to a loop. So anyway, the point that I wanted to make was by taking a screen and wiring it to the Expression 2 chip as such, it gives us a number 3448. And that's the number of operations that are permitted for the Expression 2 chip before the tick quota is being exceeded. So if I were to put 3448 right here, it would work just fine because all the lines are reserved strictly for the while loop. However, if I were to put one additional line right here, it would cause the tick quota to be exceeded. So we're going to put this number here, and this number is specific to the default settings of WireMod and Expression 2. So anyway, if I were to add another line of code right here, so let's say if true, so that counts as another line, we will then see an error, and this number decreases by 1. So that's because that one line was consumed by the if statement. So if I were to change this value to 3447, now you can see everything works just fine. So then let's add another interesting command, which is the performance command. And to understand this, we're going to be playing around with it. So we'll say performance, and we'll just put 1 on the inside for now. So what this does is it now limited the while loop to only having 9 lines of execution instead of the 3447. So again, if I were to remove this, I'd be permitted 3448 as such. And if I even go to 3449, as you can see, now it's not causing tick quota to be exceeded. So if we were to increase this value, let's bring it back to 3448, let's go to 10. Now there's 39 lines of code permitted. When we go to value 50, there's 465 lines of code permitted, 90, we have 837, and finally 100. This is going to be the maximum number of lines permitted to your while loop, while the remainder is permitted for the rest of the Expression 2 chip. So as you can see, this performance command here simply just limits the number of executions for the while loop. So if you require a number of executions greater than 1860, well, I mean, I guess just tough luck at that point because it's not going to happen. However, if you need anything less, it'll be just fine. So that's the whole point of the performance command. That was a huge intention. However, it's also possible to use the performance command in an if statement, for example. So if I were to just take this out, and let's say this while loop was actually some function. So let's say some function with like a crazy amount of lines of code that causes the tick quota to be exceeded. You can actually say if performance, and you can say like 50 or whatever your Expression 2 chip needs to operate fine. You can do that, and that will stop your tick quota from being exceeded. So anyway, I hope that gives a clear insight to the performance command and loops. And again, I hope you can make your server owners happy. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below. And until then, I will see you next time.